As the US dollar weakens, Trump-linked cryptocurrency soars sevenfold. What's really happening to the American economy? While the US dollar shows signs of weakening, a cryptocurrency associated with Donald Trump's name has suddenly surged, skyrocketing more than 7 times in just a matter of days. Is this a reflection of growing public distrust in traditional financial systems, or a speculative frenzy driven by political sentiment? More importantly, what does this dramatic shift say about the current state of the American economy under Trump's influence? Are we witnessing a risky economic transformation? Or is this the beginning of a high-stakes gamble for the future of the United States? The US dollar, no longer the king it once was. Since the beginning of 2025, the US dollar has been steadily losing value, accompanied by a sharp decline in bond yields. Many once believed that Donald Trump's economic policies would strengthen the dollar during his second term. But reality is painting a very different picture. Have you ever wondered why the US dollar, the world's most powerful currency, is now facing serious challenges? The answer may lie in President Trump's decisions. From the moment he returned to the White House, investors expected a resurgence of the dollar, driven by his bold economic agenda. Yet, the opposite is happening. In this edition of Worldview Today, we'll uncover why the US dollar is faltering and how Trump's actions may be reshaping not just the American economy, but the entire global financial landscape. President Trump and his shockwave policies. When it comes to Donald Trump, nothing is ever done halfway. From day one of his second term, he unleashed a barrage of bold economic moves, slapping steep tariffs on imports, aggressively slashing corporate taxes, and doubling down on protecting domestic manufacturing. On paper, it looked like a strategy to revive American economic might. But markets don't run on logic alone. They respond to trust and sentiment. And what Trump seems to have sacrificed is stability. His renewed trade war, targeting not just China, but also Canada, Mexico, and even Europe, has left investors feeling like they're walking on shaky ground. Uncertainty became the new norm. No one knows what move comes next, and as fear began to outweigh hope, capital started flowing out of the US dollar. So-called Trump trades, bets that the dollar would strengthen under his leadership, began to collapse one after another. And quietly, a new wave of investors started searching for alternative assets. Ones not tied to Washington's volatility. Trumpcoin explodes. As the US dollar falters, crypto rises to power. As trust in the US dollar begins to waver, global financial markets are witnessing an unexpected phenomenon. Trumpcoin has risen like a storm. Few could have predicted that, amid the dollar's decline, a politically charged asset, backed by none other than the name Donald Trump, would become the center of global investor attention. SRAM, the cryptocurrency tied to Trump's financial project, surged from under $10 to over $74 in just days, before correcting to $32.60. Yet the frenzy is far from over. The World Liberty Financial Project, a decentralized financial platform backed by Trump supporters, has just raised an astonishing $300 million in its first IPO round, turning heads on Wall Street. Meanwhile, Bitcoin has shattered all previous records, reaching an all-time high of $109,071, coinciding, perhaps not so coincidentally, with Trump's second-term inauguration. Why is the market reacting so strongly? Because Trump has made no secret of his ambition to liberate America from the chains of traditional finance. He has openly declared his intention to end the Federal Reserve's unchecked power and pave the way for decentralized assets. To him, crypto is more than just a financial tool. It's a political weapon aimed at reshaping the global power structure. This ideological pivot has unleashed an unprecedented wave of speculation. From small-time traders to major hedge funds, investors are diving into the crypto market with a win big or crash hard mentality. But the flip side is already starting to show. Experts warn that this may be a red, white, and blue bubble, more fragile than any other. SRAM lacks a clearly defined real-world use case. World Liberty has yet to unveil a transparent technology roadmap, and all of it rests on one man's shoulders, Donald Trump. Which raises a chilling question. If the political winds shift, if Trump loses power or changes course, will Trumpcoin survive at all? Emerging markets show surprising resilience. Despite earlier predictions that they would be among the biggest casualties of the ongoing trade war, emerging markets like Chile, Colombia, and Brazil are outperforming expectations. The Chilean peso has climbed over 3%, while the Colombian peso and Brazilian real have both gained more than 6% against the US dollar. Analysts at Bank of America attribute this unexpected strength to the strategic moves of central banks in these countries. By carefully cutting interest rates to stimulate economic activity, they have managed to shield their currencies from the worst of the global financial turbulence, proving that smart monetary policy can make all the difference, even in the most volatile times. Trump's next big policy moves. What could be coming? Donald Trump isn't stopping at the economy. As he enters his second term, he's laying out a series of bold and controversial proposals that could reshape America's domestic and foreign landscape. Dismantling the Department of Education. Trump aims to shut down the Federal Department of Education, arguing that it represents unnecessary government overreach into local schooling. While such a move would require congressional approval, it signals his commitment to drastically reducing federal influence. Tightening abortion pill regulations. Building on the support of conservative groups, Trump may introduce tighter controls on the use of abortion medication, potentially sparking new legal and political battles across state lines. Tariffs and tax cuts continue. He plans to maintain and expand tariffs as a way to protect American manufacturing, while also pushing for further tax cuts to stimulate business growth and economic activity. Ending foreign conflicts. In foreign policy, Trump has pledged to end international wars swiftly. He proposes that Europe should bear more of the financial burden in supporting Ukraine, and controversially suggested turning Gaza into a tourist destination. Ideas that have drawn both attention and criticism. Trump and the future chessboard. When policy is no longer a promise, but a global shockwave. If Donald Trump's first term stunned the world, his second term is beginning to reveal something even larger: a sweeping, controversial, and unapologetically bold strategy. What he's preparing isn't just a series of isolated policies, but an ambitious blueprint to remake America, and by extension, reshape the global order. 1. Dismantling the Department of Education, cutting the government's hand. Out of classrooms, Trump has declared his intention to shut down the U.S. Department of Education, both a symbolic and practical move. He argues that education should be governed by states and families, not by Washington bureaucrats. If implemented, this could spark a revolution in American education, promoting local autonomy, but also risking deep disparities in quality and ideology across the country. 2. Restricting abortion access, a looming cultural earthquake. Trump is no longer walking a fine line. He's fully siding with hardline conservative groups. Plans to restrict abortion pills go far beyond healthcare. They've become a flashpoint in America's ongoing cultural war. With support from a sympathetic Supreme Court, Trump could redefine the role of the federal government in moral and personal rights, igniting fierce national debate. 3. Tariffs in, taxes out, stimulus or economic isolation. Trump remains committed to economic nationalism, raising import tariffs to shield domestic production, while slashing internal taxes to boost spending. It's a double-edged sword. If it works, it could fast-track America's economic recovery. But if it fails, the consequences could include rising inflation, product shortages, and trade tensions on a scale not seen in decades. 4. Ending the Ukraine-Middle East conflicts. Peace or just a profitable deal? Trump claims he can end the wars in Ukraine and Gaza within months. He wants Europe to pay more for Ukraine's defense, and has floated the bizarre yet bold idea of transforming Gaza into a tourist destination. These proposals may sound outlandish, but few dare dismiss them outright. If successful, he could be remembered as a global peacemaker. If not, it may inflame already volatile regions. The bigger question, is Trump building a new world order, or simply rolling the dice with the future of the West? Trump is no longer just a president. He's a global variable, from education and economics to geopolitics. There's one common thread running through Trump's agenda: fundamental change. No compromise, no caution. He is turning American politics into a global chessboard, where every move shakes not only Washington, but also reverberates through Beijing, Brussels, Tel Aviv, and Kyiv. So the question is clear: is the world ready to accept Trump's new order? Or are we simply entering another cycle of chaos, where unpredictability is the only thing we can count on? As the world shifts, Trump is redrawing the rules. Whether you support or oppose Donald Trump, one thing is undeniable: he is rewriting the rules of the game. The US dollar weakens, yet a crypto bearing his name is exploding. Emerging markets are rising against all odds, and bold policies, from education and abortion to tariffs and geopolitics, are triggering shockwaves that ripple across the globe. The world may not agree with Trump, but the world can no longer ignore him. In this high-stakes chess match, who will emerge victorious? America, its global rivals, or Trump himself? And what about you? What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and join Worldview today as we continue to explore the shifting global order. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive. Worldview today, where headlines are seen through a sharper, deeper lens.